I pulled the punch.
You pulled the pants. That's good. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Gladys on Love. Have you ever wondered why there are a lot of Filipinas who likes to date older foreign guys? And this is actually more common than you think. That is why I invited my friend here, Leah, who is 23 years old, that's married to a British American guy who's 61 years old, so that we can debunk or answer some of those juicy and intriguing questions that most of you have. So without further ado, let me start by just introducing my guest here, Leah. If you can introduce yourself.
Hi guys, so my name is Leah and thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. Thank you as well, Leah, for taking this interview. No, I did an interview with you and Giselle in the past, and that video just skyrocketed and so many questions. So I will actually start with the most controversial questions. This is $1 million question that a lot of people in the comments are actually asking about. Is it all about the money? Is it all about the gold? That's why you married your husband, Gary.
Okay, so in some cases, it's about financially. Some Filipina do that. They seek foreigners because they want to have a better life and all that. But in my case, it was all about for love. I was a single mom. I have one daughter, and when I was in a dating series, I was feeling invisible when it comes to Filipino guy. As soon as I told them that I have a child, they just ghosted me and disappear. And I don't feel like they take it seriously when you're a single mom. I'm sure you can relate because
I do.
you also used to be a single mom when you
Yeah.
met your partner. And so I'm like, why not try na the foreigners? And Gary is the first foreigner that I date, and it works, and it was all because of love. I want to be loved, and it's not because of the financial. If it was because of money, I should have find the one that have more money. My husband is not rich. He doesn't have. It's just enough to provide for us, but he's not rich. Yeah, so it's love.
There's no gold that you,
There's
you
no
have to
gold.
mine.
Yeah, there's no gold. Just pure love.
Thank you, Leah, for answering that genuinely. Because there's really a lot of misconception around that. Automatic, if there's a big age gap, or even if there's no age gap, as soon as a Filipina and a foreigner are together, they all assume that it's all about the money.
And I think those people who say that is the one that never been to Asian country, and yeah, they're judging us that it's all about money, that you never been here, right? And I think they think that way because in their country, it seems like it's all about money. Women from their country, there's no way that a young woman would fall in love to an older guy.
They're projecting what's happening in their country to
Yeah,
us
yeah,
here
to
in the
us,
Philippines,
exactly.
when we have different culture, we have
Yes.
different way of actually expressing love and receiving love. And I'm glad that you and Gary fall in love with each other
Yeah.
and you have a beautiful family together.
Thank you. Yeah.
So going to our second question, and I think I asked you and Giselle about this in the previous video, but I just want to ask again, like, how did your family and friends react when they knew about your relationship with Gary and they knew about the big age gap? What was the reaction?
For my family, it was shocking, and to my friends as well. Not because the age gap, even they were shocked because I did not graduated high school. And my English is terrible. I can't even put a sentence together. Yeah, believe me, they were shocked. My family, the age gap, it wasn't a big deal for them, but what's shocking for them is because I'm not that kind of Filipina that dreaming to have a foreigner. I was not thinking about that, so they were shocked. My teachers from high school, they were shocked that, how did Leah manage to communicate with a foreigner? I think because of the English barrier, not because of the age gap, because it's very common in the Philippines. Foreigners dating a younger Filipina, it's not shocking for them anymore, especially in Dumaguete. We don't get that look like, she's too young and this and
That's
that.
the norm.
It's normal,
It's
yeah.
normal. But it's so nice because it really shows that you're interested in Gary, because even though you're having a hard time communicating with the language barrier, you're still able to pursue the
Yes.
relationship. I think if it's just Gary who's pursuing, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
He's able to understand
Yeah,
each
and he was
other.
very patient too, you
Yeah.
know. There's times that you cannot understand what I'm saying. He's patiently just trying to understand me. Yeah.
Yes, that's nice. I'm glad to hear that. And look at you now. Your English is very good.
Better
Very
than it
fluent.
was.
Exactly.
Better than it used to. I used to have translator on my
Oh.
phone because there's sometimes that I want to tell him something and I cannot say it, so I would translate the words.
There's a will, there's a way.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
That's great. All right, on our third question, a lot of people, they always ask this question, what can a foreigner give you? What's in it with a foreign man? But it's rare for us to ask, what does a Filipina woman can provide to a foreign man? What can you provide? What can you
I
offer to your
guess
partner?
for me, I just happily doing my role as a wife. Yeah, that's what I could support him when he's down in this and that, like a companionship, and I'm happily doing my role as a wife, trying to care for the family and all that. And at the same time, if I have a way to help financially, also I would happily do it. If he's struggling, that's
I
all I
like
can
that.
offer.
Because I think all of us as human, may it be women or men, we all are capable of providing for ourselves, providing for our family. And even before Gary came, you're already providing for you and your daughter.
Yeah, I used to work already, not a big salary, but decent to
Yeah.
provide for my family.
Exactly. You're able to do that already. And I think one of the reason why a lot of men comes here because we are nurturing kind of
Yes.
woman. We default to our nurturing nature and we are looking for guys who are good provider.
Yes.
So it's just a good balance, a
Yes.
good mix. You have the nurturing wife that you
Yes.
want and
It's like a dream for me. Since I wanna have a baby and do that cleaning the house, it's like a dream for me. And it's a good also to have masculine energy like my husband. He love to provide and make me feel safe and to keep us safe. And it's a win-win. He happily do his role as a husband, and I will do the same too.
So I guess we have our own preference as to how we want our relationship to be. And you and your relationship with Gary is very healthy.
It's like a team, yeah.
Exactly.
It's like a team.
So I wonder why there are other people who's easy to judge
Yeah.
just because of the age gap.
Yeah.
Moving on, in your relationship, in your marriage with Gary, who wears the pants? Who make the final decision?
I pull the punch.
You pull the pants. That's good.
I don't quite understand but who made this decision.
Yeah.
That's what it means. Every time we're gonna make decision, we always discuss it, and if we have disagreement, I respect him to make the last decision. That's how it should be. Just in my opinion, in a relationship, it has to have someone that would lead us more higher. So that's how I see it in our relationship. We always discussing, but we have disagreements sometimes that I want this way and he want that way. But at the end, I will respect his decision.
I love that you're inviting each other to actually collaborate.
Yes, we
Again, as
always-
a team to make a decision together, but at the same time, you also have someone who will lead. I think it's very important. And I think for women, it's natural for us to look for a man who can really lead
Yeah.
the relationship,
Yes.
can really lead the family. That makes us feel safe.
Safe. Yeah.
Exactly. And still wanting to ask for our opinions and thoughts.
Yes, very important as also his respect for you as his wife. It's very important.
Exactly. You still have a voice.
Yes,
Right.
I think it's very important to get our opinion.
I love that. That's very good. And you're a Filipina, Gary is a British American. What are some common cultural differences that becomes a challenge for both of you that you've experienced along the way within your marriage?
I think most of them they struggle to adjust how the Philippines work sometimes. I'll give you an example. The press is sometimes it's just slow. they're struggling how to adjust. And my husband used to struggle adjusting that, but he's trying to get used to it. For example, a week ago, my video card was expired and I wanna renew it. And they're asking all this stuff. It should be easy because it should be in their system. And they asking all the same stuff that I already provide when I apply. So that's things that drive them quite crazy. But then I think that's the main thing, how the Philippines work sometimes. It's kind of doesn't make any sense. We know that Philippines. So I agree that like you're gonna get an ID, they're gonna ask you an ID. That doesn't make any sense. And also, I think for our relationship, how we raise our children, sometimes we struggle in culture that we Filipino, we have a lot of ritual. Like for example, our kids are having hiccups. We want to put paper on their forehead. Do you experience that? And I want to do that, but my husband, I also have to respect that he doesn't want to do that.
He doesn't believe it.
It doesn't make sense to them. But for us, it seems that it works. So our kids also, when they get sick, fever, we want to take it to manghihilot, like a therapy.
Quack doctor.
And they want to do that because for us, it seems like it's working. But for them, they don't believe on that. Sometimes we can have a disagreement. But again, I had to also respect that that's not their culture.
How do you go about it? How do you mitigate when you have those disagreements? Oh, I'll bring our daughter to this person so that they can massage or something to get rid of the cough. Like, how do you mitigate or have that conversation?
Yeah, I just let him. And whatever works. Sometimes you just took it to the doctor right away. But for us, it's just we don't want to go to the doctor right away. We usually want to try the herbal stuff that we used to do
That's
from
so
our
fun.
Lola grandparents. But I guess I'm adapting this mindset. I think sometimes it makes sense also.
Yeah, I love that you point out about the process. I think for foreign men coming here in the Philippines, they can't expect the same efficiency as they have in the US. It's a third world country. As much as we want for it to also be the same as there, it will take us a long time. So they have to learn patience when they come here.
They need so much patience. I agree with you.
And for us, we're also learning from them that we have to question all those beliefs. That we have, like the hilot thing, the herbal thing. Because sometimes we really need to also consult to a professional. So at least both of you are learning.
Yes,
from each
I'm
other.
learning, and I cannot think of it. He make more sense, like the paper, especially on the forehead. Like how that works?
How does it work?
It feels like it works before, right?
I think it works because of the placebo effect. The more you think that it works, it will.
Because the brain is very powerful. So if we think it would work, like
It will. That's funny. Another question. Does the age gap between you and Gary, has it become a problem or a challenge?
we've been together for over 5 years now, and so far, maybe at first struggle because I was not mature back then. I was young when we met, like 18. I was 18. Yeah, that's legal, so don't worry. So sometimes I have that. I act like my age. I'm quite immature. Sometimes, especially before, as you spend more time together, getting to know each other, you will adjust. And I think it helps them too to feel young. And for me, it's helped me to improve my maturity level. But so far, because of our age, nothing really. I don't look at him like 61 years old. I just look at him as my husband. We don't see the age.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I also don't ask people like, how old are you, and base it from their age. I base it how they act, how they interact with me, based on the maturity. Because you can meet very old guy, but still
Act like a
immature.
kid.
Exactly. Doesn't have plans in life, doesn't know anything. And sometimes you meet a young people who are very matured, who actually thinks a lot already. And I can see that you've grown and you've matured within this relationship, because for a 23-year-old woman, sometimes they're still so immature.
Yeah,
But you're very
exactly.
mature.
Yeah,
at
and
your
I
age.
hung out with someone that is also mature. The good influence to me also. So I think that's one of the reasons. Yeah.
Yes. People that you hang out with really affects who you are.
Yeah, I
as
agree
well.
with that one. Yeah.
That's very good. Oh, down to our juicy question.
Let's end this now.
I have two juicy questions that I want to ask, and I think a lot of people would love to know about this as well. Do you think older men are better in bed?
I don't really have much experience. I don't have much to compare it to because the father of my firstborn, he was the first, and the next is Gary. So I don't have much because he was younger. But of course, if you use your common sense, younger one have more energy. That's the fact. But older, they have more experience. So does
Yeah.
it make sense? But yeah, in our case, I don't know really. I'm satisfied. So
Very good.
that's all I can say.
That's
I
the
don't
most
know
important
really.
thing.
Yeah, I just use the comments as like younger one, they have more energy, and older guy, maybe they have less energy, but they have experience.
Exactly. I love that you made the difference between younger with more energy and older guy with more experience. And really for us women, we don't really want like an all day long of sex. There's so many things that we want to do, and we would also, because most of the younger guys, all they do, they think that hard and fast is
Yes.
better.
Yeah.
But to be honest, as a woman, at least for me, it's not all about the penetration. I want to be explored. I want to be caressed. I want to be cuddled. And it takes a lot of experience to be able to know that.
That's
So, yeah, it's your choice. What do you think is better? You've been together for 5 years or over 5 years now. What do you do when the situation gets same old or like you're now in a routine? How do you make the relationship still exciting and spice it up?
Yes, is that still spicy? Is that still because of the bedroom, or like, how do
Yeah, how can you maintain and keep the intimacy and attraction towards each other? Because sometimes people who are in a long-term relationship, they get bored.
I think it depends on your relationship. I think if you're getting to relationship just because of sex, it's easy just to get bored like that. But if you get into relationship because of love, but of course, in relationship, intimacy is very important. For me, just based on our relationship, we focus more on each other because I believe if you both don't work out your relationship, like you don't have peace in your relationship, you will not enjoy your intimacy
Exactly.
with your partner. Especially if you're stressed, I don't think you would really turn on. In my experience, in our relationship, we work on each other and we both learning, and every day it's like we feel closer. We know more about each other. There's nothing, we don't feel like, oh, I get bored at like this and that. And we could just have a conversation. And I think communication is very important.
Totally.
In a relationship.
I actually love your answer about it's not all about the physical. When people think of intimacy, they always think that it's just about sex.
Yes,
But no,
yes.
there's different aspect of intimacy, and I think what you're talking about is the emotional intimacy. Being able to talk and understand each other, and the more you understand each other, the more close you get
Yes.
with each other.
Yes, and intimacy should be improving, not getting bored.
Yes.
That's how I feel in a relationship. Like, it should be building up, like trust. The more you spend time together, the trust should be filling up, not becoming less. But sometimes there's some days that you just don't feel like it, like you're not happy with your partner. But then again, you should be growing, not
Yeah.
get bored.
That's very good. And for those of you who are struggling with if there is lack of intimacy in your relationship,
Communicate.
communicate. And I'll just promote my program. I'm actually running a 6 weeks to lasting intimacy and connections. If you're interested in revitalizing and igniting the intimacy within your relationship, feel free to check on the description below for the details of that.
Yeah.
Now, what would be the advice that you can give to our listener, to those foreign guys who are interested in dating a Filipino woman? What would be your advice to them?
I would say take your time, take it easy, don't rush. Because sometimes people make mistake. They are so desperate finding one, and then they will rush into relationship, get married, and this and that, and they realize a few months later or a year later that she's not the one. So take your time, get to know each other, and yeah. Be patient, have patience, especially if you're gonna date a Filipina, you need patience. It's same thing to us too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that. I love the advice that you give to them because sometimes they rush and then when they got it wrong, they generalize. All Filipinas
Yes,
are
it's
like
bad. Filipina is gold digger. Yes. There's some guys that would get into a relationship with Filipina and they would throw their money. They will make the Filipina fall in love with them because of their money, and once he lost all his money, he's gonna blame the Filipino. But it's his fault that
he started
yeah,
it.
he started it. If you started giving her money, she's gonna have expectations, so she'll
Exactly.
get used to it. But based on my experience, especially Gary, he doesn't have money to spend around. But I do have patience, and I fall in love with him because of his personality, not because of his money. So it can work when if he go broke. He knows that I'm here for him, and that's how it should be. Relationship is.
That's great. I love that. How about to Filipino women out there who wants to date foreign guys? What would be your advice to them?
Have a good intention.
Yeah.
Have a good intention. Be genuine and be patient as well because yeah, dating a foreigner, it's also need patience.
Yeah, for sure. That's nice. Thank you so much, Leah, for answering all the questions that I have here. I hope that all of you enjoy as well. And please support Leah. What was your channel again, Leah?
Philippine Family Life with Leah. It's about family vlog, and also I'm sharing also some dating advice to foreigners.
Yeah, so please check out Leah and her life here in the Philippines with her husband, Gary. I will share the link in the description below for Leah's channel. Thank you so much, everyone, and hope you have a beautiful day. Mwah.
Bye.